Today we are going to start with ratio and proportion. Now, you had been learning ratio and proportion right from standard 6. Now you know what is ratio. It is the comparison of the sizes of two or more quantities of the same kind. You can compare in a ratio when they are of the same kind, because if I have to compare 1 kg and 100 grams, first we have to see that the units are not same. First we have to make the unit same. 1 kg means 1000 gram by 100 gram. The ratio is 10:1. The ratio has no units because it is a comparison between two or more units. Therefore, ratio never has an unit. Now let us composition of ratios. Let us come to the different composition of ratios. First is compounded ratio. What is compounded ratio? Now, suppose find the compounded ratio of A is to B, C is to D, and E is to F. Find the compounded ratio of A is to B, C is to D, E is to F. Then in the compounded ratio, it will be the product of the first terms. First terms are called antecedent. Product of the antecedent is to product of the consequent. So the compounded ratio will be A into C into E is to B into D into F. This is compounded ratio. The product of the antecedent is to product of the consequent is called compounded ratio. So I hope you have understood what is compounded ratio. Next, let us come to duplicate ratio. What is duplicate ratio? If you are asked to find the duplicate ratio of A is to B, then the duplicate ratio of A is to B will be A square is to B square. So, duplicate ratio of A is to B is, you just square it. A square is to B square. Next term, understand these terms. Triplicate ratio. Triplicate ratio. Find the triplicate ratio of A is to B. In that case, the triplicate ratio of A is to B will be equal to A cubed is to B cubed. Triplicate ratio is actually cube. Triplicate ratio of A is to B will be A cubed is to B cubed. Now, next is subduplicate ratio. subduplicate ratio of A is to B. When it comes to subduplicate ratio, it is square root. Subduplicate ratio of A is to B will be root A is to root B. Subduplicate ratio of A is to B will be root A is to root B. That is subduplicate ratio. Subtriplicate ratio. Subtriplicate ratio of A is to B. When you are asked to get the subtriplicate ratio of A is to B, then it will be cube root. Cube root of A is to cube root of B. This is termed as subtriplicate ratio. Then the reciprocal ratio. Next is reciprocal ratio. Reciprocal ratio of A is to B is B is to A. So I hope you have understood the different types of composition of ratios. So again I am revising compounded ratio, where product of the antecedent is to product of the consequent. Then duplicate ratios is the square of the ratios. Triplicate ratio is the cube of the ratios. Subduplicate, square root of the ratios. And subtriplicate, cube root of the ratios. Now let us come to the sums. Open to page 122. First sum, if you look, an alloy consists of 27.5 kg of copper. Alloy has copper of 27.5 kg. Then tin 2 3/4 kg. You are asked, find the ratio by weight of tin to the alloy. So the ratio of tin is to alloy. That means we have to get the total weight of the alloy. Copper is 27.5, tin is 2 3/4. So alloy is equal to 27.5, 55 by 2 plus 2 3/4, 11 by 4. 121 by 4. So alloy is 121 by 4 and tin is 2 3/4, that is 11 by 4. That is 11 by 4 is to 121 by 4. Both the denominators are equal, we can cut that. 11 1 ja 11, 11 11 ja, so the ratio is 1 is to 11. So the ratio of tin is to alloy is, if you have 1 gram of tin, then the weight of the alloy is 11 gram. That is the ratio. All right. Let us now come to compounded ratio. Find the compounded ratio of 2 is to 3. Find the compounded ratio of 2:3 and 4:9. As I have explained, compounded ratio is the product of the antecedent by product of the consequent. So it will be 2:4 by 3:9. 8:27. That is equal to 8:27. This will be the compounded ratio. Compounded ratio of 2:3 and 4:9 will be product of the antecedent. Here the first number antecedent is 2 and here the antecedent is 4. 2:4 divided by product of the consequent 3:9. 8 by 27, that is equal to 8:27. Let us look to the third one. Find the compounded ratio of A minus B is to A plus B. Then A plus B squared is to A squared plus B squared and A to the power 4 minus B to the power 4 is to A squared minus B squared whole squared. Find the compounded ratio. In this case, product of the antecedent. This is the first one, this is the first one, this is the first one. Product of the antecedents, A minus B into A plus B whole squared into A to the power 4 minus B to the power 4 by product of the consequent A plus B, then A square plus B square, then A square minus B square whole square. Now let us reduce it. 1A plus B, 1A plus B cancels. Alright. Here A plus B into A minus B is A square minus B square into A to the power 4 plus B to the power 4. If I bring it in the square formula, is same as A square minus B square into A square plus B square by A square plus B square into A square minus B square whole square. Look here, these two cancels. Here also we have 2, A square minus B square, A square minus B square. 1 cancels, this cancels. So we are left with 1 by 1. Therefore the ratio, compounded ratio is 1:1. All right. I hope you have understood. Product of the antecedent, A minus B, A plus B whole square, A fourth plus minus B fourth by A plus B, A square plus B square, A square minus B square whole square. You can see 1A plus B, 1A plus B cancels. Now A minus B into A plus B is A square minus B square, and this we can break in the square formula. You know the square formula, A minus B, A square minus B square is A minus B, A plus B. By that formula, A square whole square minus B square whole square is A square minus B square into A square plus B square. Now if we cancel, this cancels, this, there are two, both of them cancel, therefore the ratio is 1:1. All right. Let us move to duplicate ratio. Find the duplicate ratio of two is to 3. Duplicate ratio is just square. 2 square is to 3 square, that is 4 is to 9. Therefore, the duplicate ratio of 2 is to 3 is 4 is to 9. Find the duplicate ratio of root 5 is to 7. Find the duplicate ratio of root 5 is to 7. Is root 5 square is to 7 square. Root 5 square is 5, 7 square 49. So duplicate ratio of root 5 is to 7 is 5 is to 49. Next, triplicate ratio. Triplicate ratio of 3 is to 4. Triplicate ratio will be 3 cubed. When it is triplicate, then it will be cubed by 4 cubed. 3 cubed is 27 and 4 cubed is 64. So triplicate ratio of 3 is to 4 will be 27 is to 64. Then triplicate ratio of 1 cubed is to 2 cubed. Find the triplicate ratio. It will be again cubed. 1 cubed whole cubed is to 2 cubed whole cubed. 3 3s are 9, 1 is to 9, but 1 cube I know is 1. And 2 to the power, 3 3s are 9. Find the value of 8 8 is 64, 64 into 8. One is to, it will be 1 is to 512. Triplicate ratio. Triplicate ratio is cube. All right. Next. Find the subduplicate ratio. Subduplicate ratio of 9 is to 16. Find the subduplicate ratio of 9 is to 16. Subduplicate ratio is square root. Square root of 9 is to square root of 16. That is 3 is to 4. When the word sub comes means square root. Find the subduplicate ratio of 1 by 2 is to 1 by 3. Find the subduplicate ratio of 1 by 4 is to 1 by 9. That is square root of 1 by 4 is to square root of 1 by 9. I know this square root is half is to this square root is 1 by 3. But remember, this is a complex ratio. Ratios having denominator is called a complex ratio. Never leave a ratio in a complex form. Change it into a simple form. To change it into simple form, find the LCM. 2 3 are 6. Multiply both of them by 6. 3 is to. So subduplicate ratio of 1 by 4 is to 1 by 9 is 3 is to 2. Next, find the subtriplicate ratio of 1 is to 216. Subtriplicate ratio of 1 is to 216. Cube root of 1 is to cube root of 216. Now cube root of 1 is 1 and cube root of 216 is 6. 6. Cube root of 216 is 6. 6 into 6 into 6 is 216. I hope you are getting it. 1 by 8 subtriplicate ratio of 1 by 8 is to 1 by 125. Subtriplicate will be cube root. Cube root of 1 by 8 is to cube root of 1 by 125. I know cube root of 8 is half, that is 1 by 2 is to cube root of 125 is 1 by 5. But again I am telling you, this is a complex ratio. When a ratio has a denominator, is called a complex ratio. Never leave a ratio in a complex form. It is not wrong, but it is a rule. It is a common use that never leave a ratio in complex terms. So to change it into a simple form, find the LCM of 2 and 5, 10. Multiply both of them by 10. 5 is to. Yes. Next, reciprocal ratio. Reciprocal ratio of 4 is to 7. Reciprocal ratio of 4 is to 7 will be 7 is to 4. Reciprocal ratio of 4 is to 7 will be 7 is to 4. Next, 1 by 9 is to 2. I can see this is a complex ratio. A ratio which has a denominator is a complex ratio. First change it into a simple ratio. There is no denominator, means the denominator is 1. LCM of 9 and 1 is 9. Multiply both of them by 9. Nine 1 is 9. Nine cancels. 1 is to 18. 1 is to 18. Therefore, reciprocal ratio will be is equal to 18 is to 1. Reciprocal ratio will be 18 is to 1. No problem. I hope you have understood. You are understanding it. Next, arrange the following ratios in ascending order of magnitude. 2 is to 3. Then 17 is to 21. Then 11 is to 14 and 5 is to 7. You have to arrange the ratios in ascending order. First, write them in the fraction form. 2 is to 3 means 2 by 3. 17 by 21. 11 by 14. 5 is to 7. 5 by 7. LCM of 3, 21, 14 and 7 is 42. Three goes into 42. 14 times, 14 twos are 28. 21 goes 2 times, 2 times, 17 twos are 34. 14 goes 3 times, 14 threes are 42, 3 into 11, 33. 7 goes 6 times, 6 fives are 30. When the denominator is same, we can compare the numerators. Unless the denominators are same, we cannot compare the numerators. Now we have to find, ascending means big to small. So the biggest number is here, 34, which is 17 by 20. 17 is to 21. So the biggest ratio is 17 is to 21. Then this one, 33. 11 is to 14. Next, this one, 5 is to 7, and the smallest one, 2 is to 3. So, whenever you are asked to compare ratios, you have to make the denominator equal. Here I have made the denominators equal, 42. When the denominator is 42, we know what are the numerators from. Then we can compare. All right. Next, let us move to 9. A is to B is equal to 2 is to 3. Then B is to C is equal to 4 is to 5. And C is to D is equal to 6 is to 7. Find A is to D. This is what we have to find. A is to B, we can write A by B into B by C into C by D is equal to 2 by 3 into 4 by 5 into 6 by 7. Here you can see B cancel, C cancel, so A by D is equal to 3, 2 just 6, nothing else cancels, 4 to the 8, 8 to the 16, 5, 7 just 35. So A is to D is equal to 16 is to 35. A is to D is equal to 16 is to 35. Next, X is to Y is equal to 2 by 3, 2 is to 3. Y is to Z is equal to 4 is to 7. Find x is to y is to z. We have to find, so all the three terms are in the ratio, so we cannot cancel here. We cannot cancel here. What is common? Y is common in both. You can see in the upper one, the upper ratio we will multiply with the lower y, which is 4. The upper ratio we will multiply with the lower y, which is 4. And the lower one will multiply with the upper y, which is 3. Now it will become x is to y is to z. 4 2s are 8. 4 3s are 12. So if x is 8, y is 12. Here 3 4s are 12, y is 12. We have already got y 12. So 7 3s are 21. So x is to y is to z is equal to 8 is to 12 is to 21.